So if we are taking one word, we have to use that daily. And we suppose today we learned one day, one word. Okay. So we have to use that next day also. Like a
Exactly.
at least 10 days, we have to repeat that. Then we can remember. If we are not repeating one day only, that we cannot remember. What do you
Exactly.
think?
Yeah, I think the same, that it is very important to practice those vocabularies on daily basis, because we can't remember things by learning it, by reading it for the first time, and practice is quite necessary. And you're right, if we get any good vocabulary, so we should jot it down in some diary or any copy, and afterward when we get time.
That's why I was not able to make conversation. That's why I stopped.
Yeah, exactly. So
Uh,
yeah, would you mind, so will we pursue it, or start a new conversation? Maybe we should start a new topic to talk on.
yes, yes. So do you have any topic in your mind?
Um, there are several topics which we can talk on.
Okay.
It can be, yeah, but you may suggest if you have.
Okay, so I was thinking that how can we improve our vocabulary? Because
Yeah,
vocabulary is the main part of learning this language for getting fluency. So how can we learn this?
exactly. That will be wonderful if we talk on some topics which can really help beginners and
Yes,
learners. Yeah. So yeah, you
yes,
may
yes.
start. Okay. You have already recorded it. Okay.
Yes, yes. I started recording. So I think if we want to learn vocabulary, so we can take one or two vocab daily, and we
Mhm.
have to implement in our conversation. Then we
Exactly.
can we can learn. If suppose we are taking 10 to 15 words daily, and we are not utilizing in our conversation, so it is
Exactly.
totally waste. So if we are taking one word, we have to use that daily. And we suppose today we learned one day, one word. Okay, so we have to use that next day also. Like a
Exactly.
at least 10 days, we have to repeat that. Then we can remember. If we are not repeating one day only, that we cannot remember. What do you
Exactly.
think?
Yeah, I think the same, that it is very important to practice those vocabularies on daily basis, because we can't remember things by learning it, by reading it for the first time, and practice is quite necessary. And you're right, if we get any good vocabulary, so we should jot it down in some diary or any copy, and afterward when we get time to conversate with people, try to include them when it is needed, not to just forcefully add them, but when you'll add it, and the next time it will be added by itself, there is no force you have to apply. And yeah, using good vocabularies makes a person, like, it sounds very fluent, and it shows that person is very professional or very formal.
So how can we get vocab, daily vocab, like by reading or by listening? How can we get new
Okay,
vocab?
so what my perspective says is we can get it from books mostly, because on books we get a lot of things. My voice is echoing.
Yes. And that suppose we are reading books and I have seen that one word we are getting multiple times. By that we can remember.
Exactly.
And there is also I have seen in English speech people they use a different word. They utilize in our conversation.
Exactly.
Yes, so
There
we can
are
take from there.
Yeah, there are a lot of channels where we get to know about advanced vocabularies, and like
Like
what
TED
yeah,
Talk, English speech, and podcast
exactly,
also
from podcast.
helpful. I have seen that if in podcast they use different idioms, different words, and they explain also about them. So that is also good.
Yeah, because when we study something, we don't understand where to use this idiom or phrase. But when we listen it from people in some podcast or in movies, then we get to know, okay, this is how we put this idiom here.
Yes, and some cases, that we are not able to keep that. That's why we are not using. So what
Exactly.
should we do for that? Suppose we have a word and we are not getting how to use that. In
Yeah.
some cases, that's why we are not using. So what should we do in that case?
Yeah, it's good to listen it more as much as possible from people. You can watch videos related to that word. I also feel sometimes, I when I study some new word or learn some new word, I find, okay, how to use it. So it's quite problematic thing, but for that reason we should we should listen it from some places. Okay,
Yes.
so how do you practice English? Because your English is wonderful, I should say, and the
No,
words you're using
it's
is
not that much good because I'm not getting more practice. If we suppose we want to learn this language, we have to put effort, then we can achieve fluency. And as you know that we are homemaker, we are a mother, we cannot learn this much.
yeah,
Yes. So I'm making just one conversation in a day. I'm not doing too much and listening because listening is very important. Suppose we are input and output, both are very important. And
it
while
is.
input, we get new ideas, we get new vocab. By that, we can use them. And suppose we are not practicing for listening, what will happen? We will repeat just things.
Yeah,
So listening,
so people have a myth or misassumption that why to use idiom or phrase, why not to use simple sentence, because idioms make a sentence very uh, like hard to understand, because we use something else, like we say something else and it means something else, so it's very hard to understand idioms. So what do you think, why should we use it, and what does it do?
by that, our English looks like we are on advanced level. Advanced speaker they utilize in our conversation idioms. By that, people likes to listen
Exactly.
that person is speaking very fluent and very nice.
Yeah, and if you have to say a long sentence, a large sentence in a short term, like I failed my exam and I'm feeling very stressed about that. So people would say, "Why are you stressing about it? Forget it." But instead of saying that large sentence, you can say, "Don't cry over spilled milk," because yeah, so it's very easy to convey
And
thoughts.
it looks good also. It
It is
looks
good.
good. Yes.
Yeah,
And as one like that, don't beat around the bush.
yeah,
Come to the point. Yes, that is also looks good. If
yeah,
we say like, why are you moving things? This will not look good. There
exactly.
is a idiom we should utilize. That will
Yeah,
look good.
yeah.
And
For
hit the
mhm.
shake and go to bed. That's the same. Go to bed. This is a simple. But hit the shake. That looks good.
Yeah, hit the book, it means study now, it's time to study.
Yes.
And if you have
Harder.
to say,
Study
yeah,
harder.
yeah, in Hindi we say oot ke muh mein jeera, and in English we say a drop in the ocean. So it's very interesting to use idioms,
Yes,
it makes
yes.
a sentence
And
so
over the
beautiful.
moon. Over the moon.
Yeah,
Yes.
overjoyed, overwhelmed, that's
Yes.
great. And we should yeah, one should use it so that people who are watching it would get to know, and
Yes.
yeah, that will be really
If we
helpful.
are using, then people can understand and we will also learn if we are using. Suppose we are
Exactly.
not utilizing and we know but if we are not using, that will not come automatically in our tongue.
Exactly.
We have to utilize at least one idiom we can take daily, not more. I am not saying that we have to take like a 10 to 20. No, if suppose today's conversation we can talk about idioms only, why that
Yeah,
person will get and they are watching, people will watch your video, they will get many idioms. So we can
exactly.
at least, if we are going to talk about idioms, we can take at least 20 idioms we can write, and we have to first do practice about them, and we can ask to each other what it means of how to use it, and we have to
Yeah,
explain how to use them, what is means of
that,
that is good.
yeah, that's really good. And like many people don't understand it, and they feel it very shame that we are talking about idioms. It will make other person feel down. But no issue if we are like both of us are agreed to talk on that. So definitely we are gonna conversate over this topic tomorrow. Okay, if you
Yes,
will be
yes,
free.
good. I have seen that people, I talked, in one or two conversations, I talked about idioms. That looks good. And we can take like a daily uses. That will be good. If we are
Exactly.
taking daily use idioms and this people will listen and they will utilize in our conversation.
Exactly.
And I have seen that Rajni ma'am. Have you seen that Rajni ma'am? Rajni Verma. Try to thrive.
Yeah,
Nowadays,
yeah.
English is, that advanced level. Why? Because of practice.
Yeah,
And she is putting like a good vocabulary in our
exactly.
conversation.
Yeah, she puts really good vocabularies, and it's really
Idioms,
wonderful watching her.
idioms
Yeah,
also she is using.
her channel is also growing good. And one thing I noticed that she used to talk with English Yari tutors, and the way she was conversating by like at before a few years, and that was very normal. And the way she used to speak is very normal. But now within time, she has improved a lot, and just because of practice, continuity, consistency.
Maybe there is a goal. She has decided our goal.
Exactly.
Suppose people have decided their goal, they are working on that and they are giving proper time to that, then they can achieve that goal.
Yeah, I
That
feel the
is,
same.
she is doing hard work for that.
Exactly. Your screen is glitching. Is there some network issues?
I don't know. Now it's okay.